Hello and welcome back to me and my ladle watching ABO Desire the series. Now we are on episode 5. Bit of a story time. Okay, so like I said in the very beginning of my episode 1 reaction, the reason why I binged those 4 episodes in one day was because I had a sleepover the next day or, the day after. And I wanted to watch those episodes again with my best friend. Now, that did happen. We did end up doing that. Technically, we watched the episodes like the morning after the sleepover because we were too drunk the night before. Um, and also, fun fact, she absolutely loved them. Like, I expected to just show her like the first episode and then move on to something else because it's like so convoluted and stuff. But she was the one who was like, no, 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 let's keep going. I'm invested. So that's fine. I don't think she's watched any of the rest of the episodes on her own, but it's whatever. I'll update her on what ends up happening. But so we did watch the first 4 episodes, and while we rewatched those first 4 episodes, I started connecting the dots a little bit on what is actually going on in this show. And at first, while I was doing that, I felt so fucking smart. I could not believe that I was, understanding what was actually happening, what I hadn't understood before. Something about a certain character that was hidden in plain sight, and there had been so many confusing things before, and now suddenly it all made sense. It all made sense, and I felt like a genius. And then after those 4 episodes, I shared my theory with my best friend. Um, and the theory was that Hwayoung, I do indeed still have my little cheat sheet of names and facts. The theory was that Hwayoung, the supposed Omega, the main character of the show, is not actually an Omega and is actually an Enigma. And at first, I truly thought that that was crazy. I could not believe that I had, it was still a theory. I theorized this. I thought, it would make sense. But I don't know, is it really, am I supposed to know this yet? I don't think I am. Am I just like so incredibly smart that I clocked this? Like the big reveal. I clocked the big reveal in 4 episodes. And then I did some thinking. And I did some thinking and I looked at. We watched the first episode on YouTube, right, with her, and so I saw the YouTube title for episode 1 again, a title which I specifically called out again at the very beginning of my episode 1 reaction, as I had seen that title before, even though I didn't watch the episode on YouTube. I specifically called out in the beginning of that reaction that the title of the first episode is. Ready for this? An Enigma pretending to be an Omega. Or posing as an Omega, something like that. And I said that. I said that, that's an interesting title. I hope that doesn't mean that the main couple is an Enigma Alpha couple. And then I forgot, I guess. I just like out of sight, out of mind with that, and then I just like did not think about it ever again. Um but now remembering that made me realize that, oh, I think I'm actually not a genius. I think I'm actually a fucking idiot. Because I think I was supposed to know from the very beginning that Hwayoung is an enigma. And granted, even after seeing that title, I was still kind of like, not 100% certain, so it was still a theory. Now it is no longer a theory, now I know this for a fact. One, because someone commented about it on my episode 1 reaction, but, I had already had my theory by that point, so it wasn't as bad. But also I yeah, oh, that actually before that I had already gotten that confirmed, because when I made my thumbnail for episode 1, I looked up ABO Desire on Google Images, and multiple images came out with like info about the show, specifically with like the characters and their designations. And so, there were the alphas, the Gaoto, the other Omega, and then Hwayoung, and in bold letters Enigma. So I got that confirmed for me as well. And then someone commented about it. Um, thankfully, I'm happy that I got to form the theory on my own first before getting spoiled by Google fucking Images of all things. That would have been very anticlimactic for me. I wish it would have happened like on screen, but yeah, you win some, you lose some. Anyway, so that's where we're at. I am now clued in. I now realize what is happening. And I'm not completely sure whether I was supposed to know from the beginning. Because if I hadn't seen that YouTube title, I mean, like, on first watch, I didn't, like, yes, there were many hints, but I didn't clock it on first watch. I only, like, started understanding it on our rewatch. Because at the very first scene is Hwayoung in his, mansion with all the Omegas kneeling at his feet. But they don't show his face. Like, they show, like, half of his face. And on a rewatch, I realized, oh, that's Hwayoung. But on first watch, they very specifically don't show his face. So I don't know if you are supposed to know that it's him. Maybe it's, it can go both ways, right? Like, some viewers know from the beginning, and that's one way of watching the show. Some viewers don't know from the beginning, and that's another way of watching the show, and neither of them is right or wrong. I guess that's cinema, right? Everyone has a different interpretation of everything, a different viewing experience, and this was my viewing experience. And yeah, no, I'm happy that now I understand the show. Um, the idea of Hwayoung as an enigma will take a little bit of time to grow on me. Just because, like I said in the beginning of my episode 1 reaction, I wish the main couple was Alpha Omega. I mean, I am happy that at least they have the side pairing, right, who I presume is going to also be a couple who are an Alpha and an Omega. So at least we have that. Like, at least Hwayoung wasn't the only Omega, because that would have pissed me off if he was the only Omega in the show, and then he also turned out to be an Alpha, an Enigma. That would have pissed me off, because my one hope for the show was that, I needed to see an Omega on screen, and we do actually have a real Omega on screen, in the form of Gato. So yeah, that's where we're at. It has also been a few weeks since that sleepover. Yeah, around 2.5 weeks, I think. So up to episode 7 has been released, so we have 3 episodes to binge watch today, or maybe only 2. I don't know. We'll see how many I do right now. But yeah, I specifically waited so I could watch a couple in succession again. Sure, I think that's it. I got to do one very long intro for the show as well. Awesome. Well, if you're watching this preview on YouTube, this is where the preview is going to end. It is only the intro. Sorry, this show is a Patreon exclusive, meaning you need to click on the link in my description, go to my Patreon, become a member. My cheapest tier is the Little Spoon tier at $2.50 per month in order to watch this show and a lot of other shows and content with me over there. If you can support me on Patreon, that would be amazing. If you can't, then you can't watch the show. Sorry. I've been thinking, like, maybe when I'm finished with the show, I might do some sort of like YouTube supercut edited version. But also, I don't know if that would even work, because even like a even like a second of the intro of the show in my video gets my video completely blocked for copyright. Like it is super strict, so I don't know. I would have to maybe like block my screen and everything for that. So, you know, maybe you'll be able to watch it slightly for free at some point, but that might be like a year in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But sure way to watch it with me. Become a patron. Join us over there / over here if you already are on Patreon. Thank you. Let's watch the show. Yep. Oh, and also we're gonna be watching it on this site now because it says that it's 544p quality, and that's why I went scourging the Daily Motions and everything last time. But we watched it here with my best friend and it looked totally fine. So we'll just watch it here.